A quiet rain, a message left unread. Have you ever missed someone you were never even with? Not an ex, not a breakup, just someone who felt like they were supposed to be yours. But life never lined up that way. It's strange to grieve something that never happened. To cry over a relationship that never had a beginning, let alone an ending. But life has its own choreography. Now they belong to someone else. The timing collapses. You tell yourself to be graceful, to protect their peace, to protect your dignity. You walk away quietly, and people say you did the right thing. But what no one sees is the story that keeps running inside you. The words never said, the messages you deleted, the secret wish that maybe someday the world would rearrange itself and give you another chance. It's not just you, it's me. There was someone I used to know, not an ex, not a relationship, just someone who got under my skin and never quite left. I can't even call it a relationship because it never really was one. It was timing that didn't line up, words that were never said, and feelings that came at the wrong moment in both of our lives. But it felt like something. It felt real. He saw me in a way no one else ever has. Like I didn't have to explain myself. Like he already understood. I think that's what made it impossible to forget. And then life ripped the moment away. I wanted to be happy for him. I told myself that caring for someone meant wanting them to have happiness, even if that happiness didn't include me. But that's such a lonely kind of love. Loving quietly from the edges, pretending you're fine, while a part of you keeps hoping life will rearrange itself and make space for you again. Every time he reached out, it was like the wound reopened again. I'd tell myself it didn't mean anything. But deep down, I'd start spinning stories. Maybe this time. Maybe now. It was hope mixed with humiliation, wanting to believe I mattered, while knowing he'd already chosen another life. And when I finally learned that he did feel what I felt, that he had liked me too, but it was too late. It was like the ground disappeared. All the acceptance I'd built for reality crumbled. I'd finally gotten the answer I had wanted, but at the worst possible time. That's not heartbreak. That's heartache. Slow, quiet, painful. The kind that sits in your chest and hums under everything you do. You can't even talk about it properly because people don't understand mourning what never existed. You start feeling embarrassed for missing someone you were never really with. You wonder if you're stupid, if you're too sensitive, too emotional, if maybe you imagined it all. And the worst part, no one around you takes it seriously. You can't mourn what never officially existed. So you mourn alone. You replay every detail. The things you said, the things you didn't. You start to see all the ways you protected everyone else's happiness at the cost of your own. If I had just said what I'd felt sooner, would it have been different? If I had chosen my own self instead of being so careful not to hurt anyone? Would he have chosen me back? Maybe, maybe not. But here's what I know now. It wasn't weak. It wasn't foolish. I just loved too deeply and too quietly. I wanted his peace more than my own. And that kind of love will always hurt because you're sacrificing your own happiness for the comfort of everyone else. Sometimes the one you never got to love still changes you. They teach you what you're capable of feeling, what you need to say next time, what not to swallow just to make things easier for everyone else. So if you're where I was, if you're missing someone you never had, if you're stuck in the endless loop of what if, please know this. You're not too sensitive. You're just unfinished. Let it ache. Let it break you open. Then start choosing yourself the way you once chose them. And maybe one day, when your timing finally meets someone else's, you'll wonder why this one had to stay undone. If you're ready to stop replaying the memories, not to erase them, but to free yourself, here are some practical healing steps. Ground yourself because you were probably fully present in the now when they were around you. And now you're focused on a past you can't change. Your mind will want to drift back to them, to the almost. When it does, use your senses to anchor yourself. Touch something textured, fabric, your cat's fur, your coffee mug. Name 3 things you can see, 2 you can hear, and 1 you can feel. Breathe deeply until you remember where your body is, not where your thoughts are. This teaches your nervous system that you are here now. Rebuild small joys. When your world feels empty, don't chase small meaning. Start with micro pleasures. Sunlight on your face, a favorite meal, a new playlist, a walk without your phone. Joy returns in fragments first. Collect them like breadcrumbs back to yourself. Redefine connection. Stop measuring intimacy only by romance. Call a friend. Volunteer. Talk to strangers at the grocery store. When you let the world see you again, it reminds your heart that there's more than one way to feel known. Stop looking for closure from them. You'll never get the right sentence, the right explanation, the maybe someday. Closure doesn't come from a conversation. It comes from finally deciding the story ends here. Build a life you'd be proud to share, even alone. Make your environment reflect who you're becoming, not who you lost. Rearrange your space. Take photos of things that make you feel alive. The more you fill your own world, the less theirs will dominate it. Rewrite the story. Instead of "they didn't choose me," try "I chose someone who couldn't meet me where I was." This shift is powerful. It turns longing into learning. Remember that detachment isn't coldness. It's the act of loving yourself enough to stop waiting for someone else's timing to change. Over time, the ache softens. You start to understand that if it wasn't the right time, it couldn't have been the right story. Because the right story doesn't live in imagination. It meets you in real life and stays. And one day, someone will. Someone whose timing finally matches yours, whose presence feels calm, not chaotic, whose eyes don't make you question your worth. And when that happens, you'll see why this story had to stay unfinished. Not every connection is meant to last. Some are meant to awaken you, to remind you that even after disappointment, your heart still knows how to love, how to hope, how to heal. You don't have to wait for them to come back to start living again. You just have to decide that you deserve a story that gets to begin. Stay human, stay messy.